Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. I'm here in Nullsec and something not particularly good has happened to me, or at least to my character in EVE Online. We've lost the Golem. We lost the Golem. It was off camera so you guys didn't see it, and maybe it's even for the better because it was just an embarrassing loss. What happened was I was thinking that okay, maybe I could do a little bit of ratting in the home systems of Brave, like these ones where all the people are, because I was thinking okay, there's a lot of people here who can possibly help me, you know. Downside also with doing the ratting in these kind of systems is that you're going to have the issue with that these are often going to be systems where hunters like to cruise around and look for potential targets. So for that reason, it is also a bad reason because there can be lots of hunters moving around all the time scouting. So I was ratting and it actually went really good. I did one of these Serpentis Havens and just absolutely obliterated it. You know, I actually, with the Golem, I had the Torpedo Golem. If you didn't see the previous video, it was this fit here. Let's just see if I can actually get through this, because we're taking a ton of damage. Are we able to survive this? Because I'm just using my Purifier to do some basic ratting here. Some damage is being mitigated, that's good. Okay, good. If we go in the Golem, you can see here, cheap rat. This is the ship I used. Really, not at all particularly good PvP style fit. It is just a ship that is used to be cheap and try to kill NPCs very quickly. A lot of DPS. See here, 2.8k DPS. I think I had 3k DPS when I did it. I don't know why it's showing less here. Maybe I altered the fit slightly. But either way, the Golem was really great. It was obliterating the Serpentis really quickly. Did a Haven in 12 minutes. And I was on the second Haven, and I came about halfway, I think, and then, or maybe not even less than halfway, it was probably more towards the beginning. Then one of these co-op ships warped in. It was a Buzzard, I believe, and they just obliterated me because they lit one of these Cynos. These Cynos came, and the whole Black Ops fleet just jumped in. You can see the kill mail here. Very sad, very unfortunate, but that's what happened. You can see you got this Buzzard here. So he had the tackle and also lit the Cyno. And then after that, well, then it was just toast. What I tried to do was I tried to go and fight back against the Sin here, because I was thinking there's a lot of damage coming from here. But also there was this Redeemer here that was doing a ton of damage. But unfortunately, we didn't at all survive long. It took us maybe a minute, and then we just got killed. I overheated all my modules. We didn't have so much tank, unfortunately. So that's what happened. I lost my Golem here in Nullsec. It was I wasn't surprised that happened, because I mean we were ratting in the home system of Brave. I was thinking maybe we're taking tons of damage now. I was thinking that maybe we could at least do a couple of sites. If we have some luck, we won't get ganked. But it's just the second site I do, I get ganked straight away. This here seems to be a bit of a dangerous situation here, because this Purifier is having trouble kiting these guys. I think it could be that we've got an MWD. If we use an afterburner, then we'll have smaller signature radius and have an easier time speed tanking with people. But in terms of the Golem's performance, I was actually very happy with it. So that's the positive note on this. I didn't manage to then, as I said before, I did 12 minutes of full Haven, and then I didn't finish the second one. I came maybe 1/3 of it. So I didn't get to the idea of the max amount of ticks. That was actually my idea, what I wanted to do when I was doing this test. I wanted to see what kind of ticks can I be expecting. And I was very impressed, because the thing is, when you're running these sites in these high-risk, quote-unquote high-risk systems, like the big systems like this, you have the bounty risk modifier, and that increases your payout by quite a bit. So if we look here, now this is not even a full tick. This is not a full tick. We got 35 million from one tick, but it could be higher. It just happened to be low because I died. And then we got 34 million on top of that from this ESS, and I think that's what the additional risk modifier is worth. I'm not exactly up to date with the way the bounty ticks work and the ESS and all that kind of stuff, but it seems like it makes sense to me that since we've got 194% bounty risk modifier, 100% comes from these bounty prizes, and then the additional 94%, which probably this is here, this then is what I got. So I got 60 million in less than 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. That is pretty good, I would say. A lot of risk, actually. So I'm thinking that we could try doing ratting again, but I would have to find a bit a quieter system with less people in it, and only do ratting when there's no one in it. Otherwise, it's not going to be an idea. And also, I think I need to keep an eye on intel channels. I'm not in a part of any intel channels, and when I say this, you guys are going to be just facebumming. What the heck? He's not in any intel channels. I was just thinking, okay, you know what, I can just chance to do a one side, because that's what I sometimes do in high stack. I just go out and in Jita. Now you can't do abyss sites in Jita, but used to when you were able to do T5 abyss sites in Jita, I just do 1 or 2 sides. No, I'm not going to get ganked, because the likelihood of getting ganked is quite low, but it was pretty high here. So we're going to have to see if we can find some intel channels, and a way I think that we can find it is if we go into the Alliance or Corp. We've got the Intel Brave Empire, so we'll join here, but this is the Brave Empire one, so we might want to have the Nullsec Intel here. This sounds a bit better. Brave Empire, I don't think we need this, so we can then take this good luck, have fun Intel. So this sounds reasonable. Or we could have this Intel here, then for general chat now. So this is what, yeah, exactly. So these kind of systems, they're pretty close by, so we can keep an eye here. And then what we could do is also we can see if we can find a system that is very chill. I know that there are some people here who've told me that there's a bit more chill systems. There's a cool guy called Wicked, and he recommended me that I check out the system here called XZH. So we can check this system out, see what it looks like. And actually, before I even undock, I want to just put the cover ops cloaking device on to increase my likelihood of surviving. So we're going to deactivate some of these, put our cloaking device on, and undock. Yeah, we've got people here. So this is a good way I can avoid getting killed. I think it will at least help a little bit. You know, it's a long time since I used the Purifier, and I realized that they've got new graphical effects here, like they've got more blue tints and that kind of stuff. They didn't used to have that, actually. I think it looks pretty cool. We'll see what the status is here, because I think the thing is, to get to these systems, they need to sort of get through other systems, and I think if people go too far down the different systems of this area, then there's more likelihood that someone who lives here, like us, will then kill them. So that's why I think when you go down these system chains, then eventually there's a lot less likelihood of you encountering people. And then I think in that way, there's also less likelihood of someone hunting you, and you can have an easier time keeping an eye on who's there. Like, look, okay, we've got some red people here. That's not good. So we can go here. And then we've got the co-ops cloaking device. And I think the idea is that now that I'm thinking about it, it could be an idea to, like, the idea here is that you're going to then be camping in a pretty quiet system and farm away. But I'm just thinking it could be an idea to, like, make it fit this optimized and getting far away very quickly, or like very easily. Because the thing is, you see that bounty risk modifier. That bounty risk modifier is 122%, so it's significantly different here. So, you know, an idea is that I could, I'm not saying this is the best idea, but it's an idea. It could be that I would go with something like, say, a rattlesnake, because we could go in the systems then that have the 199% bounty risk modifier, and then we could use something such as a cruise missile rattlesnake. So what we could do is we could then just go with cruise missile launcher, and then we could focus on, like, you could say, keeping range and being very far away and aligning out all the time. And then the second we see danger, we can just warp out. So that could be a way we could solve this problem here of getting ganked, because the way I could see us getting killed would be if someone cloaked, uncloaked, and we were too slow and then we didn't warp out, or if there was somehow a saber that uncloaked and then used their warp disruption bubble. That could also be a reason for them catching us. Otherwise, I think it should be alright. It should go pretty smoothly, to be honest. I can tell directly that the bounty risk modifier is changing a lot here. So I'm wondering, would it be worth because this would maybe be the same price. So price for price, Golem would be similar to the rattlesnake. But would it be worth using the Golem in the system? You know, if I were to use a Golem, then it is also an idea that maybe that you would have really good tank, because the thing is, my golem that I used, it didn't have particularly good tank. It was Tech 2 tanked, so it was not particularly good. But if it had good tanking, maybe we could survive a little bit longer, maybe help or be enough time for backup to arrive. You can see here the golem I'm talking about, we only had like Tech 2 stuff, a very weak tank here compared to what you could potentially have on a ship like this golem here. Okay, let's check the system out that was being told to be a quite quiet system. I can already tell that it's a lot more quiet here out in this area of Nullsec. But that's actually an interesting factor to take into consideration that I never really thought about before, because like the idea has always been for me previously that you're ratting in a quiet system where you can farm and get the most amount of ticks and be disturbed as little as possible. But then on the other hand, you get more ISK from doing it in these dangerous systems, so maybe it could be an idea to go through for a system that is, or like a ship that is very optimized to going and like farming these sites and being able to do them in a risky system. Could be an idea. Let's see, now we've got Fortizar here available, but it seems like there are people in here. Probably they are mining or something like that. But I wonder what we could do, because the thing is, like, you maybe lose half the ticks or a little bit less than half the ticks from going for a rattlesnake, because you're going to maybe or you lose half the ticks from going for a golem to like a system like this with 100% bounty risk modifier. But the rattlesnake also doesn't have as much DPS, like a cruise missile rattlesnake, it wouldn't have as much DPS as a golem as well. Because this with torpedoes, it has 1.6k DPS, but like we would have to then go for something like, go with a cruise missile launcher, Inferno Fury, like 1.3k, 1.4k DPS. That is like half. So in actuality, the difference in price, like in profit, is going to be similar. It's going to be a similar profit. You're going to be either using a golem out here, or you use rattlesnake and get half the ISK because of the half the DPS. So I wonder what would be the better tactic to go for here. I think the golem probably would be more fun, because there's going to be more action. If you have people who want to get you, then you can have more fun fending them off. That would be the most profitable way, but also the least reliable way, because you're stuck there. I'm just trying to think if there would be a way to make it so that the rattlesnake or the golem is able to like keep range and still be able to do a lot of DPS. Like the golem could use, for example, cruise missiles, but again, the problem is not that the golem is not able to keep range. The problem is that it's got the siege module. So even if I do notice someone's there, I have to wait a good amount of time before I'm able to get out of range. Like we could remove these and put like cruise missile launcher, and then I could put siege. Or Bastion, sorry. But this here. Like with Scourge Fury. It's a decent amount of DPS, but it's still not as good as the rattlesnake in terms of survivability, I think, because we're going to have that 30-second siege timer. A rattlesnake is going to be able to always be allied out. But the good thing here is that the cruise missiles then have such good range, so you could keep really far away and still somehow be able to avoid the enemies. But they could perhaps go to you while cloaked and still just uncloak and scram you. So I'm uncertain what would be a good tactic here. If you guys have got any tips, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be very curious to know. Another option could be maybe to go for like a smaller ship, even like maybe a Tech 3 cruiser, Tengu, because Tengus can output a lot of DPS while being able to do kinetic damage, and still they're not going to be as much as a rattlesnake, but going to be still relatively cheap. It doesn't have to be super expensive, and you can also then be very nimble and maneuverable that you can warp out straight away. So it could be an idea to go for a Tengu even as well. We'll see what I'll come up with. Fun to see, actually, because you could even go for Manticore or something like that is able to, like a Manticore, because a Manticore is a stealth bomber. You can maybe put some really good torpedoes on here They're able to do a ton of damage. Torpedo Launcher II. Put this here. Scourge Rage 500, and put a ballistic control system. Dual ballistic control systems with a bay loading accelerator. Small bay loading. Yeah, there we go. 800 DPS. That's nice. And then put 1 MN. And then maybe small shield booster. Maybe small shield booster, like a tiny little one with like a clarity award, small clarity award, kinetic shield hardener maybe. So we have a lot of kinetic, and then we put like a cap battery, small cap battery, take 2. And then we put something. Oh, we would need to have some application as well. There's not so good application we've got going on here, but you get my point here. You could still have something going on. And I don't know if this is helping here, but this would be nice. This would be interesting, actually. You could even have, say, target painter. So then you don't use the shield booster. And you have a kinetic shield hardener. Kinetic shield reinforcer. A small kinetic shield reinforcer. You've got 82% of the kinetic resist, so you'll be able to resist a ton of actually Serpentis resistance here. So you could have a good shot at this. The only problem is that capacitors really is not that great, but I mean, if we have 15 seconds, you could even put passive tank maybe. You can remove this and see what passive shield, 4 HP a second. So kinetic shield hardener. You could maybe even put something like a regolith, like a medium shield extender almost, and you got almost the same amount as the you got actually almost the same amount of tank as the active shield booster, and you still got the capacitor under control. So you could go for something like a medium shield extender, Public Fleet medium shield. Is there anything that is able to? I think Canyon is one. Canyon is able to. Nah, not really. Is there anything that can alleviate the power grid slightly? A little bit tough here. If we can put maybe like a compact one in, and then maybe put a Canyon. Oh, almost. Look at that, 0.4. I wonder if it's possible to put a tiny ancillary current route here. Ancillary current. Maybe something like a Pith B type, maybe. That's also something we can do. You've got 76% shield resist. Could be interesting. You could also consider even removing this bay loading accelerator and putting something like a kinetic shield reinforcer as well. Be interesting to try this out, actually. I might try that. Because 800 DPS is not a lot, but I think you could still earn a decent amount of cash for the price of your ship. And I think that is something that appeals to me a lot. We'll see. We'll save this, actually. Manti Serprata. And we'll see what kind of tank we can get next time. Until then, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think that's going to be enough now. He'll need to take a little bit of a break, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. That was a bit of like a fail of mine with the Golem, but lots of bit of lessons, but also just to being a bit dumb, like just testing myself, being a bit too risky at the same time. So this is what can happen if you're a little bit careless. If you did enjoy the video, learn something new, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.